everyone, I will a tale unfold, a story of a fair young girl who has a heart of gold. Although beset by dangers dark, she doesn't fear as others would. I'm sure, my friends, you know her name, because she's called Red Riding Hood.
You tattletale of rot. This stupid girl of whom you speak will soon be in a stop. I can't stand those good and kind. They get right up my nose. And so a downfall I have planned. One spell and off she goes.
You're doomed to failure, wicked witch. However hard you plan, help will come to Red Riding Hood in the shape of a raging ram.
Then both will perish, mark my words.
Be gone. Let's start this play.
A good idea, then watch me triumph.
No, I shall win the day.
It's only the villagers getting ready for the spring fair, Baron.
Oh, how dare they enjoy themselves in my hearing? You know I hate to see people happy. So be quiet or go home. That goes for you, too. Just about to have my morning sleep.
Oh. Yes, sir. Misery guts. Do you know if he smiled, he'd crack his face?
I don't know how Red Riding Hood puts up with it.
Neither do I. I say, I bet she'd love to come and join us.
Don't be silly. He never lets her out if he thinks she's going to enjoy herself.
But he'd never know if he was asleep.
Well, I daren't call for her.
Yellow belly.
It's no good looking at me.
Chicken.
How about you then?
Sophia.
Cowdy, cowdy, custard.
I know. I bet they would. I say, boys and girls, would you do me a favour?
Yeah.
Well, will you? Good. Is there anybody out there? Thank you, you four. How about the rest of you?
Yeah.
Well, we want Red Riding Hood to come out and play with us. But we're feeling a little hoarse at the moment. So, what I want you to do is to call for Red Riding Hood as loud as you possibly can, okay?
Yeah.
After 3. 1, 2, 3.
Red Riding Hood!
No, she didn't hear you. Let's try again. 1, 2, 3. No. 3rd time. Let's make her hear you this time. 1, 2, 3.
Hello, everybody. Hello, boys and girls. Did someone call me?
Yes, Red Riding Hood, it was us. Is it safe for you to come out now?
Yes, Uncle is asleep.
The old killjoy. How come he needs all this sleep? I mean, who ever heard of a morning nap?
The only time he's happy is when he's asleep, dreaming of all the money he would like. Still, he can't help it. It was very kind of him to take me in when I was left an orphan.
Kind of him. He only did it for your inheritance.
But I haven't got an inheritance. It was lost.
Lost? Ha! That was stolen.
Lost or stolen, it's gone. I'm penniless. Still, who wants to be a millionaire?
I I hate?
Swallow in champagne
I don't.
and have a super rolling plane.
I don't.
Who wants some bubbles with you too?
I don't. And I don't, 'cause all I want is you.
Who wants to be a millionaire
I don't.
and have geranium to spare?
I don't.
Who wants to journey on a gigantic yacht?
Do I? What's a yacht? Oh, how I do not.
The fancy foreign car
I don't.
and wants to drive a caviar.
I don't.
Who wants to ride another cruise?
I don't. And I don't, 'cause all I want is you.
Who wants to be a millionaire
I don't.
and go to every swell affair?
I don't.
Who wants to ride behind a liveried chauffeur?
A liveried chauffeur? Do I want? No, sir.
Who wants to look at what's on board? And live to wonder if they're there? Who wants to run and run his shoes?
I don't.
And I don't know what to do.
Red Riding Hood, a man that gets you will be very lucky.
Oh, don't be silly, Jack. Who'd have me? Besides, I can't think of marrying yet. What would become of dear old Granny?
Of course, Granny. I'd forgotten her. How is she?
Well, she's not too bad, considering her age. But you know how timid she is. I do feel worried about her living all alone deep in the forest.
She'll probably be here soon. She usually pops into the village on market day.
Good heavens, here she comes now.
You know, sometimes I think she still reckons she's in the Grand National.
After a run like that, she probably feels it's time for her oats.
Huh. I sometimes feel it's time for mine. But wanting and getting are two totally different things. Especially at my time of life. What's everybody looking so miserable for? Oh, it's like open day at a crematorium. Here, let's join hands and see if we can contact the living. Didn't work. Is there any more life in you lot out there? Hello?
Hush, Granny. You must be quiet, or Baron Hardheart will hear you. He's already been out and moaned at us once. If he comes out again, he'll make Red Riding Hood go back inside.
Ha! I should like to see him try. I know too much about him. I'm old enough to remember his past. Here, did I ever tell you about the time he went to a party and ended up running up and down Downing Street shouting out, "Oh, the government is barmy!" He did.
What happened to him, Granny?
Oh, he got fined £2 for being drunk and disorderly and put in prison for a year for revealing a state secret. But listen, it's no good you lot being all sad and miserable just because he's got the grumps. You ought to be a bit more like me.
As a matter of fact, Granny, I must admit you are looking very, fetching today.
Oh, you really think so, Jack?
Oh, certainly. Go and fetch me a pint of beer, will you, please?
Oh, you wicked thing! I thought for a moment you'd notice my new curvaceous figure.
Eh?
Well, it's on account of my new bra. It's called the sheepdog.
That's a funny name for a bra.
Well, not really. See, it rounds them up and points them in the right direction. But listen, you really can't be this miserable, can they, Dobbin? I mean, after all, just look around you. The second I saw it, I knew. I said to myself, aha! I could tell at a glance that it wasn't by chance that we happened to be where we are. The moment I woke with the lark, we were both of us singing away.
and the sky was so blue, I instinctively knew we were in for a wonderful day. As I came through the door, as I told you before, I was terribly tempted to say, on a wonderful day like today, I defy any clouds to appear in the sky, dare any raindrop to drop in my eye. On a wonderful day like today, on a wonderful morning like this, when the sun is a shining and the yellow balloon, even the sparrows are singing in tune. On a wonderful morning like this, on a morning like this, I can kiss everybody. I'm so full of love and goodwill. Let me say furthermore, I adore everybody. So come and dine, the pledge is mine, and I will pay the bill. I take this occasion to say that the whole human race should go down on its knees, show them we're grateful for mornings like these. All the world's in a wonderful way, on a wonderful day like today. That's
Go on! That's got rid of the pests. Even managed to get rid of this knock-kneed old nag.
Oh, no, you didn't. I'm over here. I've come especially to see you.
Well, now you've seen me, clear off home.
Oh, don't be such a grumpy puss. I've come to do you a favour.
Don't tell me you're emigrating.
Don't get rid of me that easy. I'm not going anywhere till I've seen Little Red Riding Hood settled. I'm not leaving her entirely in your clutches. And what I'm going to do for you concerns money.
Money?
For you.
Money for me?
Ah, there's a change of tune, you old skinflint. I have decided to give a lift to my sagging finances.
Oh, that's not all that's sagging.
Well, I can't help that. It's on account of my new Tupperware corset. It's not very good to look at, but it does keep everything nice and fresh. Oh. Now, what I'm going to do is open up a shop.
A shop?
A shop. Now, you have some premises in the village which I wish to rent.
For rent?
To rent. And as well as the rent, I'll give you 10% of the takings.
The takings?
The takings. Listen, what's the matter with you? Did your mother have an argument with a parrot or something? Now then, if you agree to my terms, say, oh, jolly good. That's got that settled then.
Come along in, Red Riding Hood. I'll find some work for you to do.
Oh, no need. There's plenty of fetching and carrying and every work for her to do down at the shop. I've got to get it all stocked up, you know.
Just so long as she's not enjoying herself.
Oh, no. Now, don't you worry, my pet. I only said that so he'd let you stay out here. You run along and play.
Thanks, Granny. There's more to you than meets the eye.
Off you go. Now then, I must be about me business. Oh, but I'm fed up with carrying this heavy bag around. What shall I do with it? I wonder. Here, boys and girls, if I leave my bag down here, like that, do you think you could look after it for me?
Yes.
Not very sure, are you? Well, I'll tell you what. See, there's something very important in this bag. Very important indeed. See? Now, if you see anybody going anywhere near it, I want you to shout out, Granny, watch your bag. Think you can do that?
Yes.
I think we better have a trial run, don't you? I'll go down there and count to 3, and then we'll pretend somebody's having a go at my bag, and you shout out for me, all right? All right?
Yes.
Right. 1, 2, 3. Yes, well, a bit of practice, and that won't be bad at all. Right, now then, we'll see you later. Bye.
Well, Jasper, we've arrived.
I said, well, Jasper, we've arrived. Jasper!
Hey?
What's that thing in your ear?
Sorry, Jake, I can't hear you very well. Getting a bit deaf. So I've got this hearing aid in.
Does it work?
Hey?
Does it work?
Oh, it's 10:30. Oh, that's better.
Now listen, this is the abode of Baron Hardheart, to whom we are engaged.
I hope we'll both be very happy.
Engaged for employment.
What's that, Jake?
Work.
Wash your mouth out with soap and water.
Exactly, that's what we're reduced to. We've tried everything else.
Can we go and collect money for Dr. Bernardo's again and keep it?
What happened last time you said you were collecting for Dr. Bernardo's?
A woman gave me 5 kids.
Exactly. From now on, leave everything to me.
I will, Jake. I don't get in trouble on purpose, you know.
I know, it's not your fault. You're just stupid. What about the time you said you felt like an Indian meal?
All I did was walk down the high street until I saw a big sign which said curries.
But what happened? You walked in, they sold you a television. Now knock on the door and remember, be polite.
It's Jake.
Yes? What do you want?
We are here, sir, in answer to your advertisement as a pair of henchmen.
A pair of henchmen.
We are here to fulfil your every whim.
Every whim.
You don't look very tough to me.
I'll have you know, sir, I'll have you know that my friend Jasper is as tough as a bit of British rail steak.
I'll have you know, sir, I was the strongest boy in the brownies.
Boys don't join the brownies.
So that's why they all pointed at me when I wore that brown frock.
Not convinced.
You're mistaken, sir. This is a man who knows what he wants.
Are you sure?
Of course, sir. Look at the incident we had last week. He went into the ticket office and said, "Could I have a return ticket?" The ticket collector said, "Where to?" He said, "Back to here, stupid." Well, he's not a man to be meddled with, I can tell you.
Man, he looks more like a mouse to me.
Oh, where's your mouse, Jake? Quick, get rid of it!
Down, get down.
Oh,
Well, now you're here, I suppose you'll have to do. Come here, I'll tell you what I want you to do. Now, I have a ward, an infuriating child called Red Riding Hood. I can't stand her. I only took her in because when her parents died, she was left a large inheritance. But it's vanished. Waited to see if it turned up, but it hasn't. And now I want her out of the way.
out of the way.
Disposed of.
Disposed of?
Did you get it?
Not often.
Shut up.
Now she'll be busy from tomorrow onwards down at her grandmother's shop in the village.
Say no more. Say no more.
No more.
Right now, hop it before someone comes.
What are you doing?
But Jakey said...
Oh, come on.
Oh, look, some fool's dropped her bag.
What's going on? What's going on? Oh, it's you, Twinkle Toes.
Hello, Granny. Dear old thing. How things are going at the shop? Do hope you'll be happy there.
Now, don't you be so rude and insulting, eh?
See, you do understand me, Chitchy Face?
Chutchy face. Chutchy face? He must want something. What can it be? No, can't be that. Not at my age. I think I'd better investigate. Oh, wicked old devil! Oh, well, I never! Whoa! Right, I'll have him. Dobby, come over here. Now then, listen carefully. I've got something very important to tell you. Right, so you watch her.
Hello, Granny. Why are you whispering?
Oh, I'm feeling a little hot.
Oh, Granny, I've had such a wonderful time today. How are your plans coming along?
Oh, better than you can imagine. Thank you, boys and girls, for looking after my bag for me. Here, you know what's in it, don't you?
Yeah.
You better stretch up. There's always one, isn't there? Well, I'll tell the rest of you later.
Come on, everybody. Let's enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, why not? Let's have a
What's
bit of
going on here?
Oh, it's you, Judgy Face. Come and join the party.
For the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities, forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities of Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities to life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder of my big home. The bees are buzzing in the trees to make some honey just for me. If you look under the rocks and plants and take a glance at the fancy ants, maybe try and brew. The bare necessities of life will come to you. They'll come to you. For the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities, forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, that's why a bare necessities, together with the bare necessities of life. If you pick a pawpaw or a prickly pear, and you pick a paw, next time beware. Don't pick the prickly pear by force, pick the pear from you to claw. But you don't need to use the floor. If you pick a pear or the big pawpaw, I've given you a clue. The bare necessities of life will come to you. They'll come to you. For the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities, forget about the worries and the strife. I mean the bare necessities of life, that bring the bare necessities of life. You don't understand. In my backyard, you act like you dance. You're working too hard. You spend your time just looking around for something you want that can't be found. You do find out you can live without it and get along, not thinking about it. I'll tell you something true. The bare necessities of life will come to you. They'll come to you. They'll come to you.
There now, is it? You enjoyed that?
I was if you're rolling these stupid scenes.
Ah, you're such a misery gut. You really are. If I was as miserable as you, well, I'd give up, I think.
Now, Jasper, let's get rid of this girl.
Yeah, then we can claim the reward for ourselves.
But wait, if we just keep an eye on her, perhaps we'll get a clue to where the inheritance went. All that lovely money.
Cool.
They say there's thousands.
Cool.
Hey, look, here's a stupid old gran. Let's see if we can get in with her. Hello, Granny.
Well, hello, gentlemen, little and large. What brings you here?
We've come to kill...
We've come to kill time.
Oh, really? How'd you do that?
Well, we gamble a little.
Do you? Well, now, so do I.
Oh, look at that. Her gamble. She must be a pushover.
Here, do you fancy a bet?
Yeah,
Right, I've got some sweets here for the children.
and I've got some sweets for myself. Horrible kids.
All right, do you bet your sweets for my sweets that I'm not here?
Yeah.
Do you think I'll win, kiddies? Right.
Oh, it's easy to prove that you are here.
Well, do you bet?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not over there, am I?
Nah.
And I'm not over there, am I?
Nah.
And I'm not filling my car up at Bozeat filling station, am I? Right then, if I'm not over there, and I'm not over there, I must be somewhere else, mustn't I?
Yeah.
And if I'm somewhere else, I can't be here, can I?
Nah.
Thank you very much. Right then, children. Who'd like some sweet together? Sweeties, mind your eggs.
I know my
Coil.
sweets. I'll have one.
I love it. You'll have to go suck for it.
What's he doing?
My sweets. Oh,
See you later.
sweet down there.
That settles it.
Oh, I got a sweet. Who wants your sweet?
That settles it. We'll get both of them now. Their
Yeah.
fate is sealed.
Ah, my little plan succeeds. Red Riding Hood soon will meet her end. I'm famous for my evil deeds, and people to my wishes I quickly bend.
You may have found some henchmen which to do your awful deed, but soon you'll see there'll be a hitch when they give in to greed. Those men will fail, it's very funny, for they too want Red Riding Hood's money.
When money has gone, there isn't any.
I know the whereabouts of every penny.
You're bluffing, you lie.
You'll see, by and by.
Haven't we been busy, eh? Thank goodness that first wash is over. We even managed to sell that old grey skirt. Dear. Oh my goodness. Cover her up, she'll kill the trade.
Don't you be so saucy, young man. I'll have you know my legs are a match for Angela Rippon's any day.
A match for Angela Rippon. Match for Angela Rippon. They don't even match each other.
I'd give you a good walloping if I didn't feel so poorly. I'm not myself. I had a nasty shock this morning.
What happened, Granny?
Oh, it was awful. This dog ran up and bit me right on the leg.
Did you put anything on it?
No, he liked it just the way it was. And I already had a cold. Mind you, that was my own fault. 3 days ago, I opened the door in me nightie.
That's a funny place to have a door. Granny, there's something I've always wanted to ask you.
Well, feel free, feel free.
Oh, I don't like to. You might be embarrassed.
Me? Embarrassed? Don't be so silly.
Sure you don't mind?
Of course I am.
Well, okay then. Granny, do you have holes in your knickers?
Jack, how rude! Of course I don't.
Well, how do you get your legs in them then?
Oh, hello, little girl. What would you like?
Penny for them up there.
A penny to them up there?
Yeah. Penny for them up there.
A penny to them up there? Oh. There you are, my dear. Thank you. Right there. Oh, hello, little girl. What would you like?
A penny for them up there.
Penny to them up there?
Yes, a penny for them up there.
are, my dear. Thank you. My pleasure. Oh, hello, little girl. What would you like? No. Oh, tell me. A penny for them up there.
No.
No?
No.
Well, what would you like then?
2 pence.
Oh, it's no good. I'm going to have to pack up this shop, Lark. I'm wearing out my pacemaker. Oh, hello. It's Batman and Robin. Here, do you know what they call Batman and Robin when they got run over by a steamroller?
Nah. What did they call Batman and Robin when they got run over by a steamroller?
Flatman and Ribbon. Oh, well, back to the plot.
You got any 4-bolt 2-watt bulbs, please?
For what?
Nah, 2.
To what?
That's right, she's big, ain't she?
How much is that melon?
50p.
That's a bit expensive for a melon.
Well, I tell you what, you can have half of it for 30p.
In that case, I'll have the other half for 20 pence, thank you very much.
I've been done.
That's nothing to do with us.
Right, we said 20 pence for the melon and 15 pence for the light bulb. That's 35 pence. Hold out your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you know that apples are 12 pence a pound on the market? Yeah, 12p. 12, 13, 14. Do you know I bought 2 dozen eggs the other day, and when I got home, 4 out of them were bad. Yeah, 4. That only leaves 20, 21, 22, 23. By the way, did you know London was 32 miles away? Yeah, it is. 32, 33, 34, 35. There you are.
I've been done again.
God, that was good, Jake. Can I have a go?
Of course you can, it's easy. Right,
What's this? How much for them 6p lollies?
6p.
Right. Hold out your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you know that apples are 12p a pound in the market? That's 2p cheaper than what they are here. That's 2, 3, 4. I bought myself 8 chews yesterday, but I've eaten 7. Only leaves me with 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you know that my mother, my very own mother, had 2 boys and 1 girl? That's 3 kids altogether. That's a lot, isn't it? So that's 3, 4, and 5. Jake, can you lend me some money?
Wait, you're as sick as 2 short planks.
I'm not fit. When I left school, I got a GC in maths and art.
Oh! Well, in that case, you should be able to get a job painting cash registers, shouldn't you?
Okay, Granny, let's not get bitter with each other. We're neighbours, we might as well be friends.
I know what they're after. Still, I better keep my eye on them, I suppose, so, here, look, I'm a bit fed up with this shop, Lark. I've always fancied treading the boards.
What boards?
Well, you know, singing and dancing and acting like Shirley Temple.
You want to be a thespian?
I beg your pardon. No, what I mean is, up at the palace they're having this big party for the prince's coming of age, see? And Baron Ardart, my friend, he's asked me to keep my eyes open for anybody who'd be likely for the entertainment spot, do the cabaret like. So, shall we volunteer?
Why not? After all,
You've got friends and neighbours, all the world is a happier place. Friends and neighbours, put a smile on the gloomiest face. Just take your little troubles and share 'em with the folks next door. Makes it twice as easy to bear 'em. That's what friends are for, 'cause when you've friends and neighbours, that is something that money won't buy. You can hold your head up high, and though you've not a penny, and your house may be tumbling down, with friends and neighbours, you're the richest man in town. If you've got friends and neighbours, all the world is a happier place. Friends and neighbours, put a smile on the gloomiest face. Just take your little troubles and share 'em with the folks next door. Makes it twice as easy to bear 'em. That's what friends are for. 'Cause when you've friends and neighbours, that is something that money won't buy. You can hold your head up high, and though you've not a penny, and your house may be tumbling down, with friends and neighbours, you're the richest man in town. You're the richest man in town. You're the richest man in town.
Oh dear. Hello, Dobbin. Are you lonely too? I am worried about Granny. The things she has to do to earn money. I'm not very keen on those two she's mixed up with now. I'm sure she only does it to make sure I have the things that Baron Hardheart won't buy for me. Perhaps one day I'll meet someone who'll take care of me. And then I'll be able to pay her back for all that she's done for me.
There's a saying goes, there's no love is blind. Still we're often told, seek and ye shall find. So I'm going to seek a certain lad I've had in mind. Looking everywhere, haven't found him yet. He's the biggest bear I cannot forget. Only man I'll ever think but with regret. I'd like to add his initial to my monograph. Tell me, where is the shadow of his lost love? There's somebody I'm longing to see. I hope that he turns out to be so that I won't I'm a little one who's lost in a wood. I know I could always be good to one who's proud to be. He may not be the man's son, goes covered handsome. To my heart he'll carry the Telling me to put out his feet, follow my lead. Oh, how I need someone to watch me.
Red Riding Hood, go on your way. Your day's almost here, for you are soon to meet a handsome prince, whom you will love so dear. Until that time, rest safe and sound, while dear old Granny prepares the ground.
The prince must do his duty. He cannot marry anyone unless there is some booty. Baron Hardart will ruin the prince's life by getting him a rich but ugly wife.
My friends and loyal subjects all, I'm pleased to welcome you here on this suspicious occasion.
Auspicious, darling, auspicious.
Auspicious occasion. Our dearly beloved son, Prince Bozeat, is celebrating his 18th birthday today, the day on which his boyhood ends and he begins his adultery.
Adulthood.
Adulthood begins. To think, it is only 20 years since the Archbishop said to me, "Do you take this woman to be your awful wedded wife?"
Lawful.
I got it right the first time.
I like that. I've given you the best years of my life.
What, you mean there's worse to come?
It's about time you pulled yourself together and done something about our ailing country.
I know our fiancés are slumping again.
Pardon?
Our fiancés are slumping again.
Finances.
I do wish you'd stop connecting me.
I give in. Where's the Lord Chamberlain?
Are your Majesty called?
Have you been going over the palace accounts, Baron Hardheart?
I have, your Majesty.
And?
When going over the palace accounts, your Majesty, I found that there has been a satisfactory capital appreciation.
Aye?
And whilst at the same time there is, how shall I say, a certain lack of liquidity assets.
Is this some kind of code?
What I'm trying to say, your Majesty, is we're flat busted.
I don't like personal remarks about my lady wife.
No, you misunderstand me. I simply mean broke.
What can we do?
Well, I have been giving the matter very careful attention, and I think I found a way in which the country can regain its riches. The solution to the problem lies with the young prince. He must marry someone rich if the country is ever to regain its prosperity. So 3 months ago I opened delicate negotiations with King Rolling of Potsmonia. And he has agreed that if the prince marries one of his daughters, he'll provide a dowry of £100,000. And as you know, he is blessed with 2 beautiful and intelligent daughters. The only problem is having to choose between 2 such lovely ladies.
I don't think you'll like that.
Here he comes now. Leave this to me. Darling, happy birthday. Daddy and I have a very special birthday present for you.
How wonderful. What is it?
We have arranged for 2 more guests to come to your birthday party.
But I have lots of guests here already.
Ah, but these are special.
What your mother is trying to say is that we've arranged a marriage for you.
To whom?
To one of King Rolling's rich and beautiful daughters.
But why?
Darling, we're destitute. We can no longer keep our kingdom going. Unless you marry someone rich, we shall be thrown out in the streets.
Institute.
Which institute?
You know, thrown out institute.
Destitute.
But don't worry, son. It won't be too bad. After all, my mother-in-law arranged our marriage before she went to her everlasting roast.
Rest.
I know what I'm saying.
Your Majesties, they're here. Please pray welcome for the Princesses Orphan and Oliver.
much, but he's mine. I can't wait to get my hands on you.
Go on, son. Go on, son. Chat 'em up or get our money as soon as your marriage is constipated.
Consummated. Yes, come on, darling. Make yourself pleasant for these two lovely young ladies.
Mother, must I?
Yes, you must. Well, come on then. Come on.
I know we're such lovely beauties. It must be difficult to know where to start.
Your teeth are like stars. They come out at night. Your golden hair grows all down your back. Pity it doesn't grow on her head, really. And your lips are like petals, bicycle petals. And your ears are like flowers, cauliflowers. Your eyes are like pools, football pools.
My friends and subjects all, let us repair to the banqueting hall for the fast.
Feast.
With the money at our disposal, dear, I know what I'm talking about.
My lords, ladies and gentlemen, please pray silence for our cabaret. The court is pleased to present those stars of stage, screen and labour exchange, the Looney Tunes. You, Susie, like I know Susie. Oh, what a girl. And so classy is this fair lassie. Oh, the Moses was the chassis. We went riding, she didn't walk. From that country, I the one that had to walk. You, Susie, like I know Susie. Like I know Susie. Oh, what a girl. She wears long dresses, nice tight dresses. Oh, what a figure she possesses out in public. How she can yawn in the parlor. You would think the war is on, and you knew Susie. Like I know Susie. Oh, what a girl.
Right. Now it's your turn. Who said, Can we have some light on the subject, please? Good grief. Now I know what the teachers feel like first thing on a Monday morning. Right, what's going to happen now is that, well, this side, you lot, whatever you want to call yourselves, are going to sing like hell and totally annihilate that side, or we're going to try and whisper, see? Now back here, there's a clapometer, and at the end of it, I want you to clap like mad, and the highest one on the clapometer wins a prize. You've just marked your card, missus. Right. End of row 3. Later, mate. Now then, first of all, our brilliant side's going to sing, aren't they? Yeah. So, clear your throats, have a quick gargle, do whatever you want to do. And Maestro, we wanted a Montego, but we could only manage a Maestro. Sorry about that. Maestro will give us the music. Please. Pretty please.
clapping for? When
Well,
did they start?
they're all descended from seals, you see.
Really? I see. Okay. Are we going to do better than that?
No, rubbish!
We are going to do better than that, aren't we?
Yeah!
Come, we'll have a go anyway, yes? So, could we have some music? You knew shooting like I know shooting. Oh, what a girl. We went riding, she didn't know. From the country, I'm the one that has to walk. If you knew shooting like I know shooting. Oh, what a girl.
Are you going to start in a minute? Let's have a look at the clapometer. Right. We scored 250 out of 251. You scored 1. And as it's my clapometer and my game, our side won. Are you disputing what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right, now then, we're going to do it again with everybody singing. We got a volunteer here. There we go. I'm going to clap one from this side, and I know somebody's supposed to be pretty hot at singing and things. Little girl, what's your name? Oh, sorry. I need them later on. Pardon? I don't know whether she's foreign or whether she had a few at lunchtime. This is William, isn't it, Bill?
Yes, Granny.
Right. Now then, we'll try it again. Everybody singing, right? And these two will make all the difference because they're going to belt it out to you. Right? And you sing and. That's not and as well as, that's and, you know, into your arm, right? Thank you, sir. Everybody singing.
You shooting like I know shooting. Oh, what a girl. You're not so fancy, you can spell Latin. Oh, we went riding, she didn't go. From the country, I'm the one that has to walk. If you knew shooting like I know shooting. Oh,
Are we off?
I think so, yeah.
Well, I know you are. Smell your armpit. Go on.
Go.
I told you you'd enjoy it. Ah, dear. Right! Now then, boys and girls, and biggies, things are going a little bit wrong. I mean, look what Baron Ardard's come up with. Trust him to put a spanner in the works. I think it's time to break radio silence. Now, I want some help from you again, so I want to keep you to keep your eyes peeled and tell me if anybody comes. Will you do that? There's more sound from him than there was from you, lot. Will you do that for me? Yeah. Thank you. Right. It's got water in it. Hello? Oh, yes. Yes, well, I'm sorry to disturb you in your tea break, but, I wondered if you could spare me a minute. You will? Oh, jolly good. Yeah, I'll wait here. All right, fine, bye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you. 9, 10. Oh, what kept you? Now look here, you fairy ship. We're in a bit of a mess.
Oh, Granny dear, I know your plight, but do not give up hope. For everything will turn out right, and with these setbacks we shall cope. Not far from here in the forest green, there is a waterfall, and if you look into its depths so clean, and upon the spirit's call, a vision of your love to be will very quickly come to thee.
How does she remember all that poetry? But look, you fairy ship, I think you've got it a little bit wrong. You see, I'm a little bit too old for that sort of thing. I mean, when I get undressed for bed at night, you've got to see me in a very kind light to find me attractive. Preferably a complete blackout. Thank you. No need to prove it. You see, it's on account of me having led a very sheltered life. There was the air raid shelter, and the bus shelter, and the taxi shelter, and the... Oh, I am a silly old granny, aren't I? I see what you mean. You mean the prince. Oh, right. So all we've got to do is get him to the waterfall, let him see you know who, put him through the final test, and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt.
Our secret as yet must remain hidden until the time is right, and then our country, prince and all, will have a future bright.
Oh, that's marvellous news. I must go and tell the prince.
Well, what do you make of that? I knew she was more than she was telling. We shall have to capture the old bag.
But she's screaming holler.
Not that old bag, stupid. That old bag. Then we can tune into fairy starlight and find out what the secret is. The secret lies in that bag. That bag here, Jasper. Come on. Oh no!
Hey, Dobbin.
What's going on? What's going on? Oh, well done, Dobbin. There's a good girl. Well done.
Well, you've explained everything else, but I still don't understand about this magic waterfall. You say there I see a vision of the girl I'm going to marry. Which one will it be? Awful, horrible.
Ah, that you will have to wait and find out for yourself. But remember, it's only a vision. She'll be protected by the fates. And once you've seen the girl, you'll have to go out into the world and find her and prove your love for her before she can be yours.
What? Prove I love one of those two? I'd rather commit suicide.
Oh, don't be so silly. Things are never that bad. Phew, commit suicide? I'd rather kill myself first.
But how do I find this magic waterfall?
Oh, Dobbin will take you, won't you, Dobbin? There's a good girl. Meanwhile, I'll keep people occupied here by opening up a school. But remember, mum's the word.
When I'm deep confusion and trouble, decisions having to be made. Always I look at my home. I should be home.
Oh dear. Who'd be a working woman these days, I ask you?
Granny!
Oh, back.
Granny!
Oh,
What on earth are you up to now?
well, I'm about to open up my academy. But I wish I wasn't going to bother, I don't mind telling you.
Why's that?
Oh, I've got an awful pain in my nose.
How did you get that?
Well, I was in the garden a few minutes ago, and I bent over to smell a bee rose.
Oh, what?
A bee rose?
Granny, and you trying to be a teacher? There's no bee in Rose.
There was in this one. Anyway, that's enough about my problems. You're looking a bit peaky, my dear. Tell Granny what's the matter.
Oh, I'm all right. Really?
Never mind about, oh, I'm all right, really. Tell me all about it.
I'm just a bit lonely.
Oh, poor little Red Riding Hood. Perhaps Granny ought to do something about it, eh? I think it's about time you met a friend of mine.
Who's that?
Well, you wait here a moment and I'll go and get her, all right? You will wait, won't you?
Yes, Granny. Poor Granny. She does try. What can she do? I'm so fed up of being by myself. All my friends have boyfriends, yet I'm left out.
Red Riding Hood, look not so sad. Your day is almost here. For you are soon to meet a handsome lad who'll stop that lonesome tear.
What do you mean? Where shall I meet him?
Deep within the forest green, there is a magic place, a pool whose special magic powers will show your lover's face. If you will there, go now with me. Your husband's face you soon will see.
Can this possibly be true?
One condition I must make, no words must pass between you, because this man must prove his love before I let him claim you.
Oh, what a foolish pair you are, to think that you can beat me, the man you see but never have. I rule his life completely. Your man's future is only sunny, as long as he marries into money.
Right then, are we all here?
No, miss.
Oh, who's missing?
Ida.
Ida? Ida who?
I don't know.
Please, miss, my sister isn't here.
Why not?
Because I haven't got her.
Silence or somebody will feel this cane. Now then, we must get on. Why's that bench in the back empty?
Because there ain't no one sitting on it.
I know that. I mean, why isn't there anyone sitting on it?
Because it's empty. Look, you ain't clever enough to be our teacher.
Right. Now then, let's...
Please, miss. My mum says I can leave school an hour early today.
What for?
Because I want to get my hair cut.
What? Get your hair cut in school time?
Well, I grew it in school time.
Oh, not all of it.
I'm not having it all cut off.
Certainly not. Sit down. Now then, let's start the day with a general knowledge test, just to get things off with a bang. Now,
Oh, look. Keep death off the road. What are you doing here?
I am your headmistress.
Go on, pull the other one.
Well, what do you think I'm doing standing here with this funny flat hat on?
Because you got a funny flat head.
Go and sit down and take your hat off. Now,
Hey,
What's
get out of here.
be quiet. Now then, let's see if we can start our general knowledge test. Oh, now what?
Hurry up. Here, I don't like the look of this place.
Never mind about that. Why are you late?
Because of that sign down the road.
Which sign?
The one that said, go slow, school ahead.
That's right, and I'm having trouble with my impetigo.
Really? Where'd you have it?
I don't have it. I just can't spell it.
Sit down. Now then, question 1. Who can tell me the difference between an Indian elephant and an African elephant?
Please, miss, please, miss.
Oh, there's a clever girl. Tell me the answer.
About 3,000 miles, miss.
Cretin? Right, can you tell me which family does the rhinoceros belong to?
Well, I don't know, miss. Knowing the answer, he's got one.
Right, we'll try another one. Who can name me 4 members of the cat family?
Miss,
Yes, Jasper?
you got mother cat, father cat, and 2 kittens.
Are you trying to make a monkey out of me?
Nah, I like a job with a challenge to it.
You want to watch yourself, you do. You're always causing trouble. Weren't you expelled from your last school?
Yes, miss.
And what was that for, tell me?
The boy next to me was smoking.
Is that the only reason?
Yeah,
Well, I don't see why they should expel you just for that.
it was me that set him alight.
Have you got a handkerchief?
Of course I have. But I'm not lending it to strangers.
Oh, give me strength. Right, we'll change the subject. Inventors, get out your pencils.
I ain't got no pencil.
You must be more careful with your grammar, my dear. I have no pencils. You have no pencils. We have no pencils. They have no pencils.
Well, who's got all the pencils then?
Be quiet, or somebody will fill this cake.
Ow!
Like this. Ah!
Give over. Do that.
Now then, we're going to talk about inventors.
You licked my seat. Oh, I never.
We're going to talk about...
You've got more seat than I have. Well, he needs more seat.
Nonsense.
We're going to talk about nonsense! Oh, why is it every time I open my mouth, some fool speaks?
That's right.
Right, you 4, come out here. Come on, hurry up, hurry up. Bend over, I'm going to give you the cane.
How hard?
As hard as this. Ah! Now go and get that bench from the back and bring it up the front where I can keep an eye on you. Come on, hurry up. At last. Have you quite finished?
Yes, miss.
What are you doing down there?
Getting up? What's it look like? Don't do that.
Do what? We only did this.
Have you quite finished?
Yes, miss.
Don't keep doing that. You did.
No, not often.
At last. Now then, inventors. Children, who invented the steam engine?
Please, miss, who didn't invent the steam engine? Doctor Who invented the TARDIS.
She's right.
I know she's right. Who did invent the TARDIS, but who didn't invent the steam engine? So, who did?
Search me. Please, miss. What?
Quite right.
What's right?
That's it.
That's right.
No, that's wrong. What's right?
Who's right?
No, who's wrong?
I don't know What's right?
It's quite simple. What invented the steam engine?
But you can't say what invented the steam engine. You've got to say who invented the steam engine.
But who didn't invent the steam engine?
I
Now, James Watt
know. James who?
James Watt.
knew what's what.
About you know what?
And the other fella,
It was you know who.
And do you know what who did?
so now you know what's what.
And who's who.
About you know what?
Why did you say so in the first place? There's one little question though.
What's that?
Who invented the steam engine?
We'll try something else. What do you know about sums?
Only that some are more difficult than others.
I won't tell you again.
That's the good news.
Right, here's an easy one to start you off. If a man gets a penny a day for digging a field, what does he get for 3 weeks digging?
Jasper.
Yes, Jasper. Tell us, what does he get for 3 weeks digging?
Backache.
Right. Who can tell me what 3/17 is?
24.
And who can tell me what... Just a minute, 3/17 isn't 24?
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, no, it isn't.
Oh, yes, it is.
Don't keep doing that. 3/17 is 24.
Prove it.
Okay, then. Seventeen times 3. Watching? 7 times 3 is 21. 1 times 3 is 3. Now, add them up. 1 and 3 is 4. 2 and nothing is 2.
Not so fast, Einstein. If 3/17 is 24, you should be able to divide 24 by 3 and get 17.
Easy. You see, when we went to see our granny in Australia, we had to go to a terribly posh school and we learnt really long divisions. We did. Ready? 3's into 24. Now 3's into 2 don't go, but 3's into 4 go 1. 1's 3 is 3, and 4 from 3 is 1. Bring down the 2, which we haven't used, and 3's into 21 go 7.
I've been swizzled.
Your past life is nothing to do with us.
Right. I shall write up 17 3 times. Now then, you Bozeat wonder, add that lot up and make 24.
Easy, that way you. 7, 14, 21.
Go on.
22, 23, 24. Thank you. You're no good as our teacher. I'll take over the class.
Yay!
And our first lesson will be playtime.
Two and two are 4, 4 and 4 are
fairy, she's beautiful, but where can I find her?
'Tis May Day soon, she'll then appear, and you shall hear her voice. But problems too present themselves, and you must make a choice. And if that choice is wise and true, then that sweet maid will be wed to you.
How can I thank you enough? I'll weather the storm, never fear. It's very kind of you to take so much trouble over me. I've often heard that you fairies look after us mortals, but surely you can't do it all by yourself.
Oh, no, my prince, my immortal bands bring help wherever care is. For instance, let me show you now the enchanting weather fairies. Spring. Now you've met your intended bride, a bright new day will dawn. very much competition for Lionel Blair, you know.
I'm sorry, madam, but we've spent so much time in prison that we never really learnt the art of Turk before.
No, we never learned to dance, neither.
What were you in prison for?
Making big money.
How big?
About a quarter an inch too big.
Yes, you'd never realise by his appearance that he was in trouble with the police, would you?
No, are you?
Yeah, stole a sack of prunes.
Really?
Yeah, and I've been on the run for 2 weeks now.
Look, would you keep off in an Arabella Muse for a minute? They're absolutely massacring the men of the court.
Uek. Yes, Your Majesty.
Granny, I didn't see you taking a turn on the maypole.
Oh, no, Your Majesty. Well, you see, I'm not feeling exactly 100% myself today. Yesterday evening, I fell off a 10-foot ladder.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Did you hurt yourself?
No, I only climbed up one rung. Oh, but look, here's the young prince and the baron. Here, Baron Ardart, what gives?
I can't understand it. The prince is refusing to marry either Orphill or Oribel because of some girl he's met in the woods. He thinks she's going to come here today, and if she does, he's going to ask her to marry him.
Well, I never.
Oh, I'm sure you must have done.
Oh, you are awful.
Now, come on, Bozeat, you can't go mucking about like this. What am I going to say to King Rollings of Potsmonia when I send his daughters back quilted?
Jilted.
Father, there must be someone we can marry them off to.
How many blind people do you think we have in our kingdom?
You expect me to saddle myself with one of them?
Yes, but that's for a different reason. You'd be marrying for love. The love of your country. You'd be an idiot.
Patriot.
Have it your own way.
Your Majesty, the townspeople are ready to start the May Day celebration.
Very well.
And they'd like the young prince to crown the May Queen as usual.
Oh, well, I suppose you still have to. I do get a bit fed up with it, you know.
You two white mutton idiots! I thought I told you to get rid of her. Now look at the mess we're in.
It's no use getting her until we've got Granny. She's got a hotline in her bag through the fairy starlight. She knows everything we're up to.
My liege, I am indeed flattered that your Royal Highness should find my poor penniless ward so attractive. But of course she's most unsuitable for the prince with the country and the state it's in. She hasn't two halfpennies to rub together.
What she want 2 halfpennies to rub together for?
Oh, shut up.
Oh, Baron Ardart, my granddaughter was left a fortune by her father.
Yes, but where is it now? Lost? Stolen? I mean, the villagers have searched everywhere for it.
I see.
He's right, Granny. What can I offer the prince? A penniless orphan. I must leave. It was wrong of me ever to seek your face.
What's the matter with you?
He's so sad.
Never mind, Princey darling. You still have us.
Yes, but what do you want with common village girls when society beauties like us are around?
Yes, because if one of us doesn't get married after coming all this way, the balloon will certainly go up.
Oh, what a beautiful proposal. Do you know, that makes Romeo and Juliet look like something out of EastEnders.
For goodness sake, do something about her. Cause a diversion. I'll grab her bag. That should put her out of action for a bit.
Okay. You want to watch yourself, Granny. This area's known for muggers.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. I'm a karate champion. You know, I was the talk of the area when I joined the WAFs First time I saluted, I nearly cut my head off.
That means nothing. You still need us to protect you. You didn't know we were big game hunters.
Really? Here, have you hunted bear?
Nah, but I've been fishing in my shorts.
I've decided what I'm going to do. I will search my kingdom high and low until I find Red Riding Hood's inheritance. If I'm still unsuccessful, then I'll come here and claim one of King Ollie's daughters to be my bride. But fear not, father, I'll not let you or my country down. Give me some men and some help now and then as I march through my kingdom to see. Red Riding Hood savvy, the weather be shabby, so hard for the rain on the tree. All that long we're singing this song till long as we reach the sea. Then there's nothing in the world that holds a more a cloud. When stout-hearted men can stick together, man to man. Give me some men and some help now and then as I march through my kingdom to see. Red Riding Hood carry the west that we shabby to pass all the rain on the tree. All that long just singing this song till long as we reach the sea. Then there's nothing in the world that holds tomorrow cloud. When stout-hearted men can stick together, man to man.
Right, let's see who we've got in tonight. I've been told we've got a Damien Flynn in tonight. Have we? Where are you? Now then, I'm not sure, but is it your birthday today or was it yesterday? How old are you, Damien? What, you 12 now? You're 11 now? Do you want to live to reach 12? If I want to know whether it's your birthday today or tomorrow, it's one of the two, alright? Happy birthday. Right. Now then. Janet Wilkins, where are you? Well, it's got to be you. Tower Captain, i.e. Chief Puller. That means you work in a pub, does it? Oh. Chief Bellringer. Right, and Earl's Barton. Foreigner. Where's Ellen James? Higher? Higher? Arm higher? That's better. Don't be frightened. I'm only... Oh. I don't mind people getting in the way, but when they haven't paid for a ticket... Would you care to pass that along, please? That's a little thank you, because you let us use your place to run the tickets, don't you? My timed that beautifully, didn't I? How's that? Split second timing. Something else has split under here and all. See you in a bit.
Prince, and he's feeling 6 feet tall. But now it's time for him to learn that pride comes before a fall. And now we've captured Granny's bag and rendered useless that old hag.
Oh, they'll never find me here deep in the forest.
Baron, 2 points in the forest.
You know lives there, don't you?
No, who?
Witch Griselda.
Witch Griselda? Don't talk dark, there's no witch in this. What is the children? Oh, no, there isn't.
Oh, yes, there is.
Oh, no, there isn't.
Oh, yes, there is.
Oh, no, there isn't.
Oh, stupid minions, hark to me. Your plots have come to ruin. And one of the major reasons is you don't know what you're doing. We're riding Woodland Station Street, keep courted by the prince. The hopeless way you bundle things is enough to make me win. But we have still got our trump card. As long as you don't lose it, for Granny is powerless to help unless she's able to use it. Now I must plan and scheme a while and see what's best to do. For I must kill Red Riding Hood and her meddling Granny too.
Nice woman. She reminds me of my mother-in-law.
She came from a military family, didn't she?
That's right. Her great-great-grandfather fought at Waterloo. Her great-grandfather fought at Ladysmith. Her grandfather fought at Balaclava. And her father fought at Gallipoli. That's typical of her family. Couldn't get on with nobody.
My mother-in-law is a bit like that. She died in Australia, you know. I remember the day the cable came, he said, "Mother-in-law dead, shall we bury him, burn or cremate?"
What did you tell them?
I cabled back, take no chances, do all three.
My mother-in-law had everything a man could wish for. Bulging muscles, tattoos, a moustache.
What do you think we ought to do with that then?
Well, you heard what Witch Griselda said. She'll deal with Granny and Red Riding Hood. So, look after it.
Huh? And don't let it go.
So watch it carefully.
Oh, cowards!
I cannot put my trust in these to do my dreadful deed. Now what will do it? Of course, a wolf is what it needs!
Red Riding Hood, don't run away. I can answer our problems, I'm sure we will. I'm going away to search my kingdom's joint inheritance. If that's not successful, I'm sure we'll find another way to put these things together. Promise me you'll wait for me.
Oh, Bozeat, of course I will.
Riding Hood, go home and dream. My plan is almost done, even though the wicked witch imagines now she's won. Very soon your wishes will come true. The prince of your dreams will return to you.
Oh, we do seem to have come a long way on our nature ramble, and we still have to go through this dim, dark wood to get back to the castle.
Oh, shut up, Hubert. You're giving me the creeps.
Don't say you're going to get historical.
It's terrible. You always get
Hello. I seem to have seen this part of the forest before. Which way do we go now?
It must be over there, Jake.
Oh, come on then.
Now look, this is getting tedious. We're just walking round in circles. Let's stop a minute and get our breath back.
Why must put this bag down? It's nearly killing me.
I wish you would try a bit harder.
Then we can't have to go much farther.
Look, I think we ought to have a snack before we go on.
What a good idea. There's a lovely pork pie in that basket of yours, Baron.
Right, let's see if there's anything to sit on.
Nothing back here.
You're here.
Come along now, come along.
You pig! What's the matter with you now? You've nicked the pork pie. No, I never. Yes, you have. No, I never. Yes, you have. No, I never.
Stop arguing. We'll ask them. Now then, boys and girls, I want you to tell me the truth. Did Arabelle take the Baron's pork pie? No. Then who did?
The wolf? Ah, you stupid children, you're trying to get us tabulated.
Agitated.
There's no wolf in this wood, is there?
Look, you're so clever. Where is he then?
Behind us.
You sure?
No wolf round there, no.
Don't be silly, of course it's not.
They're just trying to make us nervous. Take no notice of them. I know this is something to sing. Are you ready?
Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? The big bad wolf? Big bad wolf? Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Tra-la-la-la-la.
That's better, isn't it? No point in being frightened of something that isn't there, is there? You're not frightened now, are you?
No.
Of course
And
not.
you're not frightened.
I'm not.
Hello. Hammer House of Horror started early tonight.
Yeah, what's your time?
What's the matter?
He's gone off.
Take no notice. He's been off for years.
I think we'd better sing again.
Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? The big bad wolf? Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? La-la-la-la-la.
Well, that was a bit of an exaggeration, wasn't it? I mean, I'm singing in the band and all that.
Oh, I'm getting worried. Lost in the forest, all dark and gloomy. Not to mention the wolf.
The wolf!
I said not to mention the wolf.
Stop shaking! It's not me, it's you! I'm still hungry, you know. Are you? Oh, thank you! What for? I knew you had that pork pie! Swizzler! Pork pie! It's a good one, isn't it? Jasper! Jake! He's gonna be on the Good heavens, what on earth is all this noise about? That's funny. I'm sure I heard something. Oh, look. There's dear old Granny's bag. She must have dropped it. I'd better take it to her.
Your Highness! Your Highness!
What is it, Jake? You look all steamed up.
Steamed up? I was nearly eaten up!
What do you mean?
Help, man! Dad, can I anybody? Help!
Control yourself, Jasper. What's the matter?
There's a wolf in the woods! A wolf in the wolves!
What is this?
There's a wolf in the woods! You
You
must
must
help
help
us!
us!
I've no time for that. I'm on a quest for money to save my country.
Oh, poor Red Riding Hood. What a way to go.
Yeah, a mid-evening snack for a wolf.
You mean Red Riding Hood's in danger?
He's quick.
Then I must go and save her. I couldn't care less about the fortune or my country. I must rescue her.
Oh, isn't a bit of passion a marvellous thing?
Yeah, it is, sir. Right here.
Oh, come on.
Sleepy balls. I must catch up with me beauty sleep, you know. wall? Who is the fairest of them all? What do you mean, Margaret Thatcher? Oh. Oh. Do you know, they told me in the shop that these tights will run resist. They weren't joking, I can't even walk in them. Oh, and these are me... Just look away a minute. These are my early morning bloomers. I have to take them off just after breakfast. Oh, dear. Oh, that's lovely. Still, this is pantomime, isn't it? Pantomime! Here. I always find this sort of thing draws applause. I don't care, it's nearly time to go home. Oh, I nearly forgot. Oh. Just that way. Oh, dear. I mustn't forget me. The upper decker flopper stopper. But you know, it's not the wrapping, but what's inside the parcel that counts. That's what I say. Do you know, the other day, I thought I was getting rheumatism, but it wasn't. It was just these corsets. I think they're going rusty. I went to the doctor and told him, but all he said was, "Course it's not." Do you know, when I look at myself, I can't think how anybody can find me anything but unbelievably attractive. Right, time for sleepy poos. I must finish me book first. Oh, it's a lovely book this is. I got it from one of them societies. What provides books for gentle women. It's called The Curse of the Werewolf. Now then, where was I? Right. The heroine sat on the edge of the bed in the dark castle. All was quiet. She felt an evil presence was abroad. She imagined hot breath on the back of her neck. She told herself she was being silly, that it was just the warm night air. Yet still, from within the castle came strange sounds. Oh, this is getting exciting. I must have a sweet. Oh, my favourites. Jelly ones. You'll have to take your teeth out for these. Right. Her shapely body was silhouetted in the pale moonlight through her diaphanous nightgown. Her milk white arms pulled the bedclothes closer to her. Her alabaster breast rose and fell with her agitated breathing. She dismissed her fears with an impatient gesture. Then fair Miranda prepared herself for bed. She combed her silken tresses, admiring herself in the mirror. Oh, let's have a quick comb. Not to comb mine before I got into bed. You know, I shall have to start shaving.
big eyes you've got.
All the best to see you in, my dear.
Oh, Granny, what big ears you've got.
All the best to hear you in, my dear.
Oh, Granny, what big teeth you've got.
All the best to eat with, my
I was so afraid. Had my way, you'd never be afraid again.
Now then, it occurs to me that you two are more than just a little bit fond of each other. Now, boys and girls and biggies, remember I asked you to look after my bag, don't you?
Yes.
Well, it occurs to me it's about time I showed you my big chest.
I think we can all see it.
Now, I said I'd tell you what was in my bag.
Yes.
Well, it's my big gold key, see? Now then, many years ago, I was entrusted with the wealth of this country by Fairy Starlight. But, now that you've come of age, I give it to you. And all that I ask is that you use it wisely.
I will. And the first thing I will do is marry your granddaughter. And we both work hard to put our country back to rights.
Oh, that's lovely.
Just give me a minute.
And I'll be right with you.
By royal decree, all citizens in this kingdom
Mother, Father, I have an announcement to make. May I present my betrothed, Red Riding Hood.
My dear, you are indeed beautiful. I wish I was 10 years younger.
You don't know why. You needed Philistine when you were 18.
There's no need to be so sour. Just because I love one has been a bit erotic. You obviously haven't been talking to the chambermaid.
What's about us?
You can't let them go home empty-handed.
I've got it! I've got it!
Tell us, don't procrastinate.
You have been talking to the chambermaid. Since you two have wished Red Riding Hood such harm, you should be put to death. But as you warned my son of the danger of the wolf, you shall be spared. Your sentence shall be changed to life imprisonment with hard labour. You shall marry the princesses Oribel and Orville.
And so our pantomime was ended. Hero and heroine survived it all, and safe in my palace they will be wed, because they listened to true love's call. So there's nothing left to say, but love and happiness come your way.
Orchestra. I would like to thank everybody else who has really slogged and worked so hard, the backstage staff, lighting, the people who spent hours and hours and hours making the scenery, everybody who's been not on stage and not taken applause. Cast, hands together. Thank you. Now, where's Auntie Sue? Auntie Sue costume, Auntie Sue.
Oh, no, it's not, sorry.
Auntie Sue is brilliant. What Auntie Sue's hands haven't been up to in the last few weeks. These little, look at those little fingers. They used to be 4 inches longer than that. All the cosies, I think, were superb. Really, really fantastic.
And just a little thank you, Auntie Sue.
Oh, thank you very much.
Last but by very much no means least, is somebody who has put in not only a lot of work and time and effort, but has virtually lived this show for the last 4 or 5 months. She's lived it here, she's lived it at work, she's lived it at home, both asleep and awake. We have that on very good authority. Including nightmares about a wolf, and had to be pacified by being told it was dead, so it was all right. And I can honestly say I've done an awful lot of shows, kid. I have never known a producer who's taken such pains and put in such effort into any show I've ever been in. I think it's fantastic. It's a good job you went home and got your best clothes on, isn't it? There's a little prezzy there from all of us. And a little card. Another little present. Thank you very much.
I'm proud of you all, but without her help and her always being there for all weird times of the morning, noon and night, I give you Penny Branham. For a nervous breakdown tomorrow night. No, I suggest you get drunk before he's too broken down to pick you up afterwards. Bless you, Penny.
Thank you. Thank you.
Come on.